Today is I'm going to go and talk to Jane. Now, Jane owns a florist called Floriat in Sydney, and she has been herself beset upon by external factors, and you'll find out what they are a bit later on. One of the things that's really interesting is that she was able to actually manage through those external factors with systems. Systems are really important. That's why I say play defensively. That's chapter 2 of my digital course. Jane, fortunately, has come to us through my podcast. She is a follower of me on Instagram and my podcast. And what I am now doing is going to go through and visit Jane, but I'm going to visit a whole lot of people who follow me in my podcast, and I'm going to put them up on mentor.com.au. Well, I'm here with Jane, and she's got this business here called Floriat. It means, it's Latin for to flourish, and which I guess is relevant because you've had your share of sickness more recently.
Yep.
And you want to share that with me now?
Yeah, if you want.
Yeah, tell me.
Yeah, so last year I got breast cancer,
Yep.
and I had treatment for 10 months. And it was, I guess, the most stressful part for me was how I was going to keep the business running through that time. And we've come out the other side. And
yeah, so you flourished.
That's right.
Was the name already in existence?
Yes, it was.
Okay,
yeah.
so
yeah.
it's some sort of premonition, isn't it? That,
I guess so.
That you flourish, and you flourish the whole way through. Good on
Yeah.
you, because it's tough enough in small business.
Yeah.
Then it's tough in retail.
Yeah.
I think the flower industry is probably even more challenged because of all the online businesses that you have to compete with.
Yeah.
So what is your business here? So what are you doing here?
So we do a bit of everything. We're not, as you can see, a traditional shop front. We do bouquet delivery online, so people order online. We have the odd people popping in to get things, but it's mainly online. We've started offering gifts as well, so chocolates, candles, books, everything for flower lovers, and we also do weekly flower arrangements for offices and shops and restaurants, and we do corporate events and weddings and things like that, so a bit of everything.
So what have you got delivery, have you?
Joseph uses the fridge as
Come
well.
on, mate, use the fridge. No worries, go for it. Yeah, go for it. So I want to know from you, what are the struggles right now for small businesses, particularly in retail?
I guess for me in particular, it's cash flow. It always has been difficult. For events and things, we send invoices and we usually ask for payment up front, but that doesn't always happen.
You mean people don't want to pay you up front, or they can't pay you up front, or you don't ask?
I think because of their business structures, they don't pay up front, and if they do, they'll pay on credit card, and they don't like to pay on credit card because they need to put it through their accounting system. And so we've got to work with them and, be open with them up front and say we require payment up front, but sometimes, and most of the time they do, but sometimes they don't, and we've got to wear that cost until we get paid, and it could be a week or 2 weeks. For our weekly deliveries, we get paid monthly, so we've learnt to bill a month in advance, so that by the time we've done all the flowers, we've been paid. So, but it's just, it's always challenging.
And I know when you're cash out, you usually have to pay up front.
That's
so if you're buying flowers at the market, so you go to the markets?
Yes.
What time in the morning do you get there?
I get there at 5.
5 in the morning. Can you get a parking spot now?
Yeah, I've got my own spot.
You've got to have a parking spot.
It's changed my life.
It's totally. I know how that works. And do you load your own truck up?
Yes, I do.
Yeah, so you go into the markets, out of Flemington, I presume.
Yep.
You buy your flowers, you pay your vendor there and then.
Yep.
You load your own truck up.
Yep.
And then you come back here, unload it.
Yep.
And what time are you unloading?
Usually between 7 and 8 in the morning.
Right, so what time do you get out of bed then?
4.
So you get out of bed at 4, you're at the markets at 5, you're in your own shop unloading, you've already spent a whole lot of money, so you've already paid out.
Yeah.
And then you then fulfill your orders. Is that how it works?
Right,
and that's how many days a week?
At the moment it's been 7.
7 days a week.
But generally 5 to 6.
Right, so okay, so basically the whole business relies on you.
Yeah.
And then when you're going through your chemotherapy or radiotherapy, whatever you're going through, were you doing both?
So fortunately I'd trained Beth up to cover for me when I went away on holiday for 2 weeks. And by the time I got back within a week, I'd been diagnosed. So it was perfect timing, because before that, no one else knew how the business ran. So fortunately, I had Beth, and that was fantastic. And so I still sort of worked throughout the chemotherapy, did all the market runs, except for a few days here and there that I couldn't go.
Now that's really important now. I want to ask you something. You just said something really important to me anyway. You just said that you went on holiday before you were diagnosed, but before you went on the holiday, you trained Beth up. Yep.
Yep.
So in other words, what you really are saying to me is that you showed Beth how the rhythm of the business works. Who to order from, what time to get out of bed in the morning, where to go and park the car out of the markets, which vendors you like to buy which flowers from, which flowers you like to have every day of the week, what your customers are wanting. So you sort of downloaded to her all the data and information that runs your business, right?
Yep.
Now, you're lucky because you did that. Now, if
I
you
know, I was
hadn't have
very
done
lucky,
that,
yeah.
you would have been in
I
trouble.
would have
okay?
been stuffed.
Okay,
yeah.
totally stuffed.
Yeah.
And by the way, I want to give you 12-month subscription for free to my playbook. So this is an online course which tells you how to run your business every single day of the week, and it's about structure. And in chapter 2 of my playbook, I talk about being defensive, play defensively. Now, playing defensively is manualizing, actually writing down the operations of your business. Now, you pass that on to Beth, right?
Yep.
What I'm saying to you, if you hadn't have done that, then you would have been up shit creek, more than you were. What I would suggest to a person like you, and maybe Beth could help you out here, is that you should actually write down in the next couple of weeks all those procedural things that you have passed on to Beth. And Beth can sort of say to you, yeah, and by the way, when I was doing this, Jane, I reckon we could do this a little bit better by doing blah. And every month I think you should do this systemization of your business, a structure around the rhythm of the business, because that's your intellectual property.
Yeah.
That's the shit you've been working for years, many, many years, working out what is the best system. You made so many fucking mistakes. You know, as you said, you've got a car park. I know how hard it is to get a car park out of the Flemington markets. You know, like, where do you park? What time you got to get there? You know, who do I have to pay where I have to pay for the car park? Who do I have to duke to make sure I get in there and up front in front of the right florist? What time to get in particular florist or vendor to make sure that I get the best flowers and I get the best the best bang for my buck? All that systemization is really important, and it needs to be put into an ops manual.
Yeah.
And that's called playing defensive. That's my chapter 2. You'll see when you go into my online course. You're a great example, for a whole lot of reasons, but you're a great example of where systemizing and passing on your intellectual property to a person you trust, or at least putting down on a piece of paper, actually can help someone survive the dramas.
Yeah.
You're also a bloody great example of what Australian business is made all about. Tough, resilient, still smiling, sharing your knowledge with young Beth over there. Is it true? But it's true.
It's all true.
This lady here is a perfect example of the resilience of Australians, but more importantly of Australians in business. That you are a perfect, look at her. I mean seriously, look at these beautiful blue eyes, hadn't stopped smiling, and doesn't complain. I bet you she doesn't complain.
Oh, I do.
No, but does she ever
Most
really
days.
complain?
I'm just thinking about like through your treatment that you're right, she turned up every day, still had a smile on her face and just pushed through the whole thing, like just kept going with very little complaint for someone that was going through that for such a long
And what that does for you is it inspires you and it drags you along in the whole game. It's like brilliant. Like,
Yeah, like if she could do it with Nancy going through chemotherapy, I could do it with full health on any day. It's very inspiring.
to be frank with you, no one gives a shit about small business owners. And we all talk about it. I mean, I do, but generally speaking, we're the only ones that give a shit about it. It's a bit like farmers. We all talk about the farmers, but we don't do anything about it because we empathise with them, but we know we can't help them.
Well, people don't understand when they're not there.
They don't-
I
they don't
guess.
have that
Unless
sense.
they're involved in the industry, they don't understand.
And you can't blame them. I don't blame them, and because I'm one of them. I keep thinking to myself, what have I done for the farmers? I mean, I empathise about the farmers, but what have I done? I've done nothing because I'm too caught up in my own world, and you're caught up in your world, and our consumers who deal with you are caught up in their worlds.
Yeah.
And what we need to do as a business community, you, me, and the other 2.5 million of us who exist around this country, we need to form a community,
Yep.
and we actually got to look after ourselves. Because no one else gives a shit about us.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't mean in a horrible way.
Yeah,
We're there to trade with them, and they run their busy lives. They've got their kids who are sick, and various things are happening, and they've got to get to work and they've got to deal with their boss and they've got to deal with their bank and they've got to deal with their landlord and everyone's got so much shit going on, and there's no time for them to think about us. So if we want some help, we've got to fucking do something about it.
Yep.
You, me, Roberto, and the other 2.5 million people out there.
Yeah.
And somehow we've got to form a community. And what we've got to do is we've got to build a shield around our businesses. And my online course is about building that shield around our businesses, but more importantly, what we've got to do as a group is we've got to gang up. I had a dream last night that I was walking alongside Scott Morrison around a football field talking to him about small business. Trying to explain to him what we need as a community. And it's one big ecosystem. If you and me and all the other people don't exist, then all the people out there who buy stuff from us or transact with us, they're stuffed.
Yep.
Because you go to the Flemington markets to get the flowers for them. They're not going to go at 4 o'clock in the morning. You're going to do that.
Yeah.
And if I don't run my financial services business, they're not going to get a loan to buy the house. And if Roberto doesn't get up at 4 a.m. from where he lives at Harrington Park, or 3 a.m. and drive back to Darlinghurst and prep in the morning so he can open up at 5 a.m. for all the cyclists and all the other people that drink his coffee and eat his eggs, they're going to have to go somewhere else. And I think we need our consumers to realise what you do, but all of us, we need to gang up.
Yep.
Like a powerful group that goes to government and says, listen, we want you to bring forward some tax breaks. We want you to help us out. You are the fabric of our society. We are made up of all these small business owners.
Yep.
People who are tough and gutsy. People just like Jane at Floriat. This is where you've got to be trading, guys. You've got to come and do business with Jane and Beth at Floriat. We've got to support these people. We've got to consume through them. There's plenty of big businesses out there. They get their fair share of the business. Let's put a little business this way, where we can, okay? Thanks very much, Jane.
Thanks,
Really nice
Mark.
to meet you.
Thanks, you too.